So, my good people, and we like doing this Excel, which is it is a good topic, or it is a good cause for every accountant and every practicing finance officer to have this Excel in hand. Reason is most of the work we do, financial analysis, financial information, we don't present this information in form of QuickBooks, Sage, Excel, not Excel and Pastel. We present this information in form of Excel. So we export to this, we import from these accounting softwares, then we do analysis. So today we want to look at a very interesting concept, that is the sum function, the sum functions, the sum if function, and sum if function. So it sounds very simple, but that function is very good. It's very good. It's very good. It's always I normally use that sum if function doing most of my reconciliation. I don't even use a lot of function in when I'm performing some task. I normally use this sum if function. So we have the sum function, which is the simplest sum function, and we have the sum if function, and we have sum ifs functions. These are three different functions. These are three different functions. These are three different functions. The first one, let me the first one. So the first one is just the normal one, so the normal one. So the first one, which is the sum if function, we use this one to do the summation. For example, maybe I want to get the sum of this data up to that. So what I do is just put the formula here, if equal sign, sum if, double click this one, and then you drag, and then you click enter. That one will give you the sum. That one will give you the sum. That is the simple one, the basic one, which give you the sum. Now it comes when you have the multiple, you want to get the multiple criteria. You want to sum something with multiple criteria. So what can we use? So we can either use the sum if function and sum if function. This one to use to, it has two criteria. This one has two criteria. Just two criteria. And this one, it can have more than one criteria or two criteria. This one can have more than one or two criteria. For example, you are doing some analysis. I have my data here. The name, the split, which is the account. So my account is account receivable and account payable. This is a financial information. We have the amount and we have the invoices, the invoice numbers here, the invoice number, including even the credit notes. These for negative our account payables, can't I event up to the credit note. Now, if this is the total, so I want to pick random invoice numbers. I want to pick the random invoice numbers. For example, I can copy these invoice numbers. up to that. And this is my invoice numbers. I copy the name, it is the name. Num, that is the num is the invoice number. I want the amount. Maybe someone has asked you, can I get the amount of these invoices? How much did we invoice our client for these invoices, or the client has paid some money which they pay certain invoices, but you are not aware of how much was this amount of the invoices. Now imagine having a big organization like Safaricom, which they run a million of transactions in a day, So do you really go one by one looking for these invoices, look one by one looking for these invoices, or filtering those data? No, Excel can't do it for you within few minutes. didn't even if that person was asking you was still standing there, you can give this information. But once you have learned this, but if you have not learned this, it can take you the whole day looking for it. For example, let me border my data. I like taking my data more presentable. So that is it. So what I do here, say equals. Then we have the sum, the second sum if without S, double click that one. We have the range. So it's asking you the range. So the range is where you want to, the one you want to extract. In our case, we are extracting amount using the invoices, So our range will be the invoices. So our range, I will select this range. Don't know, yes, up to that point. Because when you drag Excel downward, it keep on moving. So if you reach an empty cells, the Excel also will jump to empty cells. So that click into your mind back to that what we learned under the referencing. Under the referencings, we learned about the absolute reference. We learned about the absolute reference where we saw how to use the $sign, that is absolute reference. $sign, it is used to fix certain sales. So if you, in our case, you can see my certain sales range, it is from A5 to A36. So if I want to fix that sales range, I can key in my keyboard F4. If I key in F4, automatically you can see my range as now the $sign. It has the $sign. So in our keyboard, they don't have, sometimes if you key in that F4, it will not change that one to $sign. So what you have, there's a sign in your keyboard called FN. So you just key in that FN together with F4. So it will give you the $sign. Once I click that one, I click comma, it will ask me for the criteria. This criteria is, we are looking for what? We are looking for these invoices. These invoices will be my criteria. So we are looking for this one. And this one, you will not lock this cell. Reason is, I want to, after that one, they jump to 32. After that, they jump to 31, 32, 33, as they go downward, So this one is not absolute reference. This one is what you call the relative reference. Once you have done that, you click comma, and then it will ask you the sum range. So in our case, the sum range is the amount. So I will come back here and select from that point up to the last of these cells, which is here. Then I need again to lock these cells. So key in F4. Yes, great. And then you click enter or click close the bracket and click enter. It is all the same. And I want to put the $sign so that it sounds more financial information. You can see I've gotten the sum of 80. This invoice 6030 being 10,800. So having, if you are an advanced Excel student, you don't need to copy paste the formula all the way downward. What you do, you put your cursor and you can drag it down. But eventually my Excel is not able to do that. So what I do, I just copy that one, select this one, Control Alt V, I will get this table, then I paste the formulas. So click formulas, then click OK. And this is my data. So these invoices have this amount. We can go randomly check it if it is true. Let's look at the invoice 630. We can filter, let filter so that you don't say there is the one we have skipped. So let filter, go to data, and come to filter. Here. Select this one to unselect alt, and you can write this invoice 6630. That is it. And you can click, you can see, confirm with me if it is right. So the sum of that invoice is 10,800. So even if that invoice repeated somewhere, then it will change. I can't do this. Let me put I insert another column here, then I copy paste the same invoice so that we see if the price will double. I copy this one and then I paste it here. You can see my price has double. So Excel is done wonderful to you. That is the first one. Now you want these invoices, you want this, we can't now, that was the first one using the sum if. So the sum if has only two criteria, which I have seen, you have seen that one, it has only two criteria. Now the sum if function, this one, it has more than one criteria, So you can sum this invoice if this invoice is account receivable or if this invoice is account payable. That's when we use the sum if function. So let's try this one here. Let's copy this. Can copy this data. So let's copy which data can we copy? Let's copy this data. Paste it here. Write the amount. Copy this. And amount. Now we want in our case to sum this one, but we want account also or the split. The split is the account here, the ledger account. So you want to put the ledger account to sum if it is I hope I have copied this. Yes, so pick these two. So kindly remember these two, it is account receivable. That one is account payable. So we can color this one so that we know. The other, that one and which one, and these ones are account payable. The other ones are account receivable. So let's try, we use some if function, which is has more than one criteria. And I want to copy this one. This one is account receivables. You can say it is account receivable. Then say equal sum if that is not this one with s. Sum if with s. Sum if with s. The sum if with s. This one. So it will ask me the sum range. So this one is somehow different. The other one was starting with the range. This one now is start with the sum range. So instead of selecting it, you are in advanced Excel class. So feel free to apply any techniques you know about Excel. So instead of going and selecting this one, you just put your cursor here, click that one. It will select downward all the way. And then what you do, you fixed it F4. Then you click comma, that is the sum range. And then we have the criteria range. The criteria range is this one. The criteria range, that is the first criteria range. We can move, let's move this one. The second criteria range is that one. The second criteria range is that one. I can't again fix that one. And then comma. Oh, well, now it's behaving abnormally. Let's start it again. State equals sum if. I double click that one. Fixed this one to F4, a comma. The criteria range is this one. I fix that one again with F4. Then comma, it will ask me the criteria. So the first criteria is we need this we need that the invoice numbers, and then comma, then they will ask me the second criteria range. The second criteria range is split, which is account. Then I fixed again that one, F4, then comma, then it will ask me the third, the second criteria. I can put now this account receivables. I can put the account receivable. We can fix that account receivable because it will not, we don't have other account receivable. So we can fix that one, then click close, then enter, can see. So confirm with me, confirm with me. Let's copy this formula. Up to that one, add control V, then formula. Okay, you can see I've gotten the sum of this because it fall under account receivable because it fall. That's why I like Excel. I like Excel because if you do something, you get something which is it keep on motivating you because it does anything. It does this thing very fast. It does this thing very fast. Reason is I told you you color this one so that you make reference with me. The reason why we are not getting the sum of this, the reason why we are not getting the sum of this, because it is not fitting into our the second criteria. Our second criteria is account receivable. And here, this is account payable. That's why we are not getting the sum. So if you change this account criteria here, I copy this and then I paste it here, you will see. I get the sum of this. Now I don't get the sum of this because it is account receivable. It is account receivable. And that is the Excel. Very simple. Very simple. So open your mind, believe that you do this thing and rush this concept, rush this concept. Keep on, keep on. This sum if we will be going to use to apply when developing our payroll. That's why I wanted you understand this concept bit by bit so that I don't want to combine all the concepts in one topic like this. Then you get confused. So I want to package this concept for you just step by step. We build the concept as we advance. Thank you and keep on sharing, keep on watching.